All right, testing. 1, 2, 3. Say something.
I like waffles.
You don't like fucking pancakes?
No.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Silent Protagonist podcast. I am what am I? Am I the host? Am I the co-host? Are we both co-hosts?
I guess, yeah. Something like that.
Don't-
Co-host.
Don't give me a half-assed answer like that.
We're co-hosts.
We're co-hosts.
Yeah, we're hosting together. Yeah.
Oh, we're
co-host.
hosting together.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay. I'm your co-host, Kaznarious, and with me, as always, is the Porkchopper.
Yeah, I am the Porkchopper.
All right, and we've come here today to talk about games, mainly good games. 2017's been pretty damn good, I'd say.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and great games we played. Bad, really awful things I've bought,
Yeah.
and I'd say, we had a lot to talk about in our first podcast, which never came out.
Oh yeah. That's
So I guess this is technically the pilot.
yeah.
We'll probably mention the other podcast, but that'll be irrelevant to you guys. But thanks for that, by the way, Porkchopper. But I'd say let's just get this awkward ass segue right into Breath of the Wild. So Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
What the hell do you think about it? Because you just beat it. I beat it 2 months ago. The week of, actually. Week after it came out, it took me to beat that game because I loved it so much. And you've just beaten it as of May 22nd.
Third.
23rd, okay.
I mean, I took my time with it, and I think it's definitely one of the best games I've ever played, for sure. Like, without a doubt.
I think it is the best game I've ever played, personally. It's, everyone keeps saying, oh, it's not Zelda, it doesn't have those Zelda puzzles, but to me, the puzzles that does have are good. They're good substitutes for those Zelda puzzles. While I didn't have those Zelda, there weren't, like...
The
big dungeons, right? They did have those... it's weird to say it, but like the Zelda gratification that I got from solving those puzzles. I'm going to mention that podcast that never came out. But I remember there was a moment in a Zelda DS game, Phantom Hourglass, where you have a thing on the top screen and there's like a parchment on the bottom screen. And it says you need to find a way to get that icon on the top screen to the bottom screen. So for me as a kid, I tried every single item on this thing to get it. Like, what am I supposed to do, right? I'm trying everything. I like tap all around the bottom screen, press every single button, nothing's working. And I just like close my DS and like go to think about it. And then when I open my DS, right, because the screen was on the screen, that was what moved the icon to the bottom screen. I thought that was like one of the coolest things ever. And, technically, I guess I didn't figure that out. I don't know if the game was designed to, like, just frustrate you until you just, like, closed your DS to like, go think about it. But I had tons of moments where I was like, oh, okay, that's how you do this. Or, oh, okay, finally after thinking about it, like, I got that gratification, and I love that. And another thing I loved was just how the puzzles can be done in so many different ways. IGN, I remember seeing an article where they said Breath of the Wild was a great multiplayer experience, of which I was automatically like, are you high? Like, I don't think this has multiplayer, you idiots, but it actually is, because I would see myself beat a puzzle, and then I'd see my friend beat a puzzle like 20 minutes later, and we solved it in completely different ways. And I thought that was so interesting, that those puzzles are so designed in such a way that you can think in a different way. and still get the answer.
Yeah.
It's like, what else did you love about the game?
Just the logic system and the physics system, the way they work together. It's the first game where everything was so fluid and so smartly designed, where if you think it, you can probably do it.
Probably do
like
it,
if you set a fire, that fire, if it's big enough, will create an updraft, and you can jump up. You can launch yourself with your paraglider and launch it in the air. And in other games, like, that would never be possible.
For sure.
But in this game, like, literally, if you think it, you can probably do it.
I think, like, the puzzles were fantastic, but I think, like, the moment where I realized that I loved this game was when you leave the Great Plateau. Now, the Great Plateau is, of course, it's massive, right? It's the original 4 temples, and you think, oh, this is massive. And then you leave it, and then you just look at the map, and it's not even, like, 10% of it.
Region in the game.
It is so massive, and I just said, holy shit, this is amazing, and I cannot wait to go and explore it. And I did, and I just had such a fantastic time just getting lost.
Yeah.
I think, or not, just like, I guess I really wasn't getting lost. It was more like wandering around.
Because there's just something around every corner.
And I, like, you just pick a direction, you say, oh, that looks kind of cool. And then you sort of go in that direction, and then there's usually, like, something cool in the middle. And it was, for Legend of Zelda, technically its first 3D foray into open world, it was just fantastic. And I, honestly, there is an absence of genuine temples, genuine dungeons, but I would say that those little breadcrumbs of smart puzzle design were enough for me to get through it. But
yeah, because whereas before you would have a handful of big dungeons, you've got smaller shrines in this game, but there's 120 of them, right? Like, there's so many, and they're all completely different. So, smaller experiences, but in the long run, like, I appreciate that more, because you've got this big open world. It would be a shame if there was only a handful of dungeons. So,
of course, the game did have its, its divine beasts, which I thought weren't too great, personally.
Yeah, they were, like, sort of 4... like, sort of dungeons.
Pseudo-dungeons, yeah.
But not quite that big. They weren't too much bigger than a shrine, and they weren't too complicated.
When you think about it, they sort of had the same Legend of Zelda logic for dungeons, because Legend of Zelda, it's like, you get an item, and it's like the dungeon is sort of built around this one item. And all those dungeons were, like, built around, or these pseudo-dungeons were built around, okay, do you want to shift this thing left or right, or do you want to, like, tilt it upwards or downwards? And I'm not saying that was sort of an equivalent thing. I'm just saying I can see sort of where, like, the connection to a dungeon for that would be.
Yeah.
And, I mean, when you think about it, for a lot of Legend of Zelda games, the unfortunate part is that when you do get an item and it's useful for that dungeon, it is almost useless for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
I remember there's, like, this stupid item, like, in Twilight Princess that's just, like, a top. And you just, like, use it to, like, grind on various things, and, like, it's almost, like, completely useless outside of that one dungeon that you get it in. But, anyway, I guess, yeah, no, I really did appreciate that we had those, like, 6 core, like, abilities that were just, they could be used anywhere in the game, and you could find, like, a good place to, like, use them efficiently.
Yeah.
Time stop became stopping your enemies. Bombs became better, and they became easier, like, stronger, and they became easier to recharge, or they had a faster recharge time.
Yeah.
No, I just love that from the get-go, you can you can walk in any direction, and while you may like get your ass kicked if you go too far without better equipment, you can still technically, if you're skillful enough, explore the area with shrines. I know a lot of my friends like tended to stick to this one beginning area, and I was out. I just automatically just kept going like top left, and I ended up in the snow area, and I got messed up.
Yeah.
But I just
The Haber Mountains, I think.
yeah, and it's like I didn't have like the proper cold resistance, and I absolutely got messed up.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, no, it's I really love that it never held your hand, gameplay wise.
Yeah, because really the tutorial lasted like 2 minutes at the beginning. It's like walk forward, climb this thing, grab a branch, and okay, go out in the world.
Yeah, you don't even
you want, right?
you don't even have to talk to the old man.
Yeah,
at
you
the
never
end.
have to.
I mean,
So.
technically you do in order to like get the shrine, but you can almost like completely skip like the guy just sitting there.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I I can't even remember the last time a game. Well, I can't remember like an open world game
That didn't.
that
completely
didn't.
hold your hand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to a point. Yeah. Or
That's
like
the thing.
had like, oh hey, you got to get to the waypoint, or like this is where your next like mission objective is. Like story wise, like obviously like there are various places when you're in like the Zora domain where you have to like eventually go through the Zora domain, and then you have to go to the Divine Beast. But it's never like it's never a straight path. And again, you could do any of the Divine Beasts in any order you want. Technically speaking, I mean, obviously it would be a huge pain in the ass to go all the way up to Death Mountain and just food that.
Yeah.
But
At the same time, though, you don't have to do the Divine Beast either.
no,
You
that
don't even have to.
and obviously the end of the game's gonna be harder. But I liked getting my ass kicked. I know that's a weird thing to say in a game, but I remember 5 minutes in, just like walking down and like seeing that first skull, and just fighting the bokoblins over and over and over again,
Yeah.
and like, but like I always knew like I could have just walked around, but like I wanted that experience of like, okay, I need to do this, or like I need to hit these bombs, and then I like need to like figure out, okay, I need to single off this guy because he's like a stronger one.
Yeah.
I need to like take out the archers first. It had almost a Metal Gear Solid 5 level of planning your shit out before actually going in.
Yeah, definitely.
And if you didn't plan it out, then I mean, unless you had the right armor, you were almost screwed. Like by the end of the game, I could just like walk up to any camp and be like, okay, yeah, you're dead. Rivali's or not Rivali's Gale. I'll use what's her face's Fury and
just the
lightning bolt, not just like everything. I thought that the rewards for the Divine Beast were awesome because they did like feel powerful and worth like the amount of time that you spent to get them.
Yeah.
Like Mifa's Grace, just like, oh hey, you just don't die, and you get like so many hearts back. They felt worth it for what you had to do for them, which was awesome. Love the subtle music in that game. I love it just looks pretty.
Yeah. For a game that's it's running on hardware that's not like PS4 level or anything, it looks gorgeous.
It
like
does.
The art style just makes the game. It looks incredible.
I think it's about time we talk about the final boss and the ending, because I've got a lot of choice words. I'm going to leave an annotation. If you're off the video right now, get to the video. Here's your chance. I'm not going to spoil Breath of the Wild for you yet. You got about 10 seconds. All right, I'm going to count it down. 10, 9, 8. Future me is going to hate me for this because I'm going to have to edit all these out. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, that's right. Okay, I'm not around. I'm actually going to spoil it for you.
Hey guys, post-production Kaznarious here. You may be wondering where our section for the Breath of the Wild ending is. We're not going to have it in this podcast. We thought it would, or rather, I made the executive decision to not include it here, just in case you can't get to your computer or whatnot. And I think we actually have some pretty funny rants, and we get pretty heated over it. So it will be in a future video. I'm going to put it out in a couple of days. So look forward to it. Hope you watch it. Hope you enjoy the rest of the podcast. And, take comfort in the fact that every time there's a Yoshi noise, I had to go through and edit that. And this is my suffering. Thanks.
All right, so I bought a Switch, again in this other unreleased pilot. I said I was basically buying a Switch just to play this game. I wanted the best version of this game, and it better be the best game of all time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's sort of an unrealistic standard, but it was pretty damn amazing.
Yeah.
Switch in general. What do you think about it?
I think it's a great system. It's obviously not perfect. It's got some issues, some of which can be fixed with, software updates and things like that. Some of them, maybe can't be fixed. Some of them, just couldn't be helped, like battery life, right? The battery isn't horrible, but it would have been nice to have a bigger battery, but at the same time, I've seen the inside of the Switch, and the battery is pretty much as big as that they could have gotten it,
right, yeah,
without making it better or bigger, right? So there's nothing that you really could have done there, right?
Yeah.
I think overall it is a good start, and with some software updates, it'll be a much better system. So
I'm definitely waiting for a better UI. I know the Wii U, it had the Mii's. I'm just waiting for, something more interesting than like the black background, black or white.
I think they'll do themes, but I don't think they'll go crazy with the UI.
Yeah.
Just because the OS on the Switch is extremely fast and lightweight, whereas their previous operating systems have been really bloated and slow and sluggish.
Right.
A lot of people like the fact that it's fast, so I think we'll get themes and stuff, but I don't think they'll go too crazy with it.
True.
Right?
True.
We might get like some new pages, but I'm not so sure that they'll do anything like that sort of thing on the Wii U.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
So, but we'll see, right?
That makes sense. As long as it's relatively interesting, I think I'm down for whatever happens.
Yeah.
I just need more colors.
Yeah, I would like a red background or
Yeah.
something. It's literally just white or black.
White or black. It's
And I'm surprised that they're not selling themes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, not yet, at least.
Not yet.
It's
Yeah.
You would think that they would have every fucking color in the rainbow already.
Guaranteed.
It's so random. But.
Yeah. So that Switch. Let's talk about that Switch starting lineup. We got Breath of the Wild.
Bomberman.
Breath of the Wild.
Just Dance.
Oh, Breath of the Wild.
1, 2,
Switch. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
What happened? I could have sworn there were so many more games.
It's weird because there was supposed to be 15 games on launch, and the majority of those games were not there until a month later. What the fuck happened? I have no idea.
Yeah, no, it is even now I can go on and I can see there's still barely any games other than Mario Kart.
Yeah, it's mostly indies. The bigger games are coming, I think, later this year, and they'll probably be announced at E3.
Yeah.
But right now it's basically mostly indies with some bigger games thrown in.
And you could pay $60 reduce to buy Isaac. which is a $15 due game on Steam.
Well, at the same time, though, the $15 game on Steam doesn't include the expansions.
Oh, yeah, those $5 expansions definitely worth.
Hold on, no. The Afterbirth on Steam, because this one's Afterbirth Plus. Afterbirth on Steam has a regular price of, I believe, $40.
No way.
It's usually on sale, though.
No way did I spend that much. I'm actually gonna legit check.
You probably got it on sale, but yeah, just pull up.
I was unaware that Afterbirth Plus was a thing for $40 dues, but
Yeah.
as far as I'm concerned, you can enjoy Isaac Rebirth without.
Yeah.
And Isaac Afterbirth without ever touching this thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow. I am honestly surprised that they shilled out that much. I don't know what the hell Edmund's doing.
No idea.
I don't know. Or maybe this is just Nick Alice going crazy. I gotta look that up later.
Well, they're big indies now. They want their money.
Oh, clearly.
Yeah.
I wonder when Phil Fish will get his money.
Phil Fish.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, anyway, next topic. So, let's talk about Bomberman for a little bit, because you bought that for my birthday, so we could both play online, because we were under the assumption that we could play online.
So here's the thing. This fucking game, okay, was announced with, like, this 50-stage campaign, and it's a co-op campaign, right? And then it has, like, this online battle mode and all this bull. But I heard 50-stage, campaign with co-op. I was like, oh, well, here's a great game to play. Well, here's the fucking thing. Online is only for the battle mode. If you want to play the campaign in co-op, you better get your fucking buddy to drive up to your house, because that's the only way you're doing it.
Yeah, Konami'd. I don't know what to even say. It is absolutely saddening that a Bomberman game from, like, 11... I don't know if it's 11 or 7. Bomberman Ultra. It had more options and more customization, and was generally more fun to play. Now, I don't know about Konami's latest update, but we played this game, I think, like a week after the Switch came out. And even just playing multiplayer.
Yeah.
Input lag.
Yeah.
Absolute input lag. Insane. I cannot fathom how much you dropped the ball on that one.
Yeah, I don't know.
Online play. Input lag.
I have seen that the updates have actually fixed the input lag.
Okay.
And the game is actually running at 60 FPS now.
Okay.
Now, it took a slight hit to graphics to get that 60 FPS, but when you see them running side by side, it's not a big difference. So, I think it's okay.
Okay.
To be completely honest.
Well, I'll have to check it out again, but Bomberman R did not have the greatest launch.
Yeah. In the future, when you announce a game and you say it has co-op and it's got all these stages and you talk about how the game is online, specify what's online and what isn't, because that's the only reason I bought the game.
Yeah, literally. That sucked. And then we got Mario Kart 8. How about that online?
Again, here's the thing. So, if you want to play with friends, there's this... You can't send invites, by the way, because that, even though it's 2017. That's too complicated. You can hit this button to join your friend, okay? So, when Kaznarious would, join an online game and I would hit the join button, it would take me into a game. But it would not take me into his game. It would be this game random. So I would leave, hit the join button again, and lo and behold, fucking randoms again, because it does not take you to their game.
Every time I tried joining you, I got, hey, or I would go in, and then it would load, and then it would say, oh yeah, the fucking lobby's full. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Like, basically, if you want to play online with your friends, you have to make a lobby and play with bots.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way you can, successfully join someone's game is in a friggin' lobby.
Or, get 12 friends to buy a Switch.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, it,
I get the feeling that this is because their online app with the lobbies and all that shit hasn't launched yet because it launches in the summer.
You think it's
But
going to fix it?
I get the feeling that that's going to fix it, but here's the thing, okay? If you have a game that's focused on online, right, don't launch the game until those services are ready, because if you're expecting people to spend that much money and the online is essentially broken where you can't play together, that's not exactly a great experience.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're asking people to spend 80 Canadian dollars to, to pay for that game, that's not acceptable.
Yeah. No, it's...
Although the game itself is really,
It is
really
good.
great. It's just the online is garbage right now.
Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, one thing that I noticed is that for both my Switch and my Wii U, I have issues connected to the internet constantly. It will connect to the internet just fine at times in my house, and then at times it will just completely screw off. Now, I would accept that if it was the same for all Nintendo consoles, but my 3DS is just fine. I've been playing Monster Hunter online all the time, but for some reason I cannot get Mario Kart 8 on either my Wii U or my Switch to run a half decent online, which is half the reason. Well, I mean, funny enough, when I was getting Mario Kart 8, I traded in Mario Kart 8 for Wii U and Splatoon because I can't play those for Wii U because I can't run them online decently. So I'm like, okay, I got my Switch. I'm going to restart my router. I'm going to sit right beside my fucking router and I'm going to play it. And I can't. I just can't. I'm going to have to buy one of Nintendo's Ethernet cables and I'm going to have to go from there.
When you do, don't buy Nintendos. You can get a much better one for cheaper.
Oh, fantastic.
Any USB LAN adapter. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Dope. But yeah, that's them's the breaks for playing online, apparently.
I did have the Wi-Fi problem with my Switch once when I went to play, but how I fixed it, because here's another thing, okay? In the UI, it's really dumb, because when it's on your TV, you can't turn the system off.
Mm-hmm.
You can only put it in sleep mode,
Yeah.
which is f***ing ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you have to take the Switch out of the dock, press and hold the power button, and actually turn it all the way off. Then when I turned it back on, that's when my Wi-Fi started working properly.
Yeah, I did try that a couple times. It still didn't work, but
Yeah, like your mileage may vary, right? Like
Yeah.
it worked for me, but it obviously doesn't work for everybody. So
wow. Anyway, give or take a couple months, we're all gonna have to pay for the online anyway. So
yeah, in the fall, I'm thinking it'll probably be maybe September, October.
I do hope it's around that $20 dues a year.
Yeah, they said basically, at least for US, it would be between $17 and $26. That's roughly the equivalent of the yen that they were talking about charging.
Yeah.
That's not too bad. Although for us, obviously with the exchange rate,
40.
if they do $20 US, they're probably going to charge like $30 for us. Although that's still a lot cheaper than PlayStation Plus, though. So as long as it's decent, it's not bad.
Yeah, I'm not buying it until they get their together with these Mario Kart lobbies.
Oh, of course.
Or they show a generally better online UI with ARMS and Splatoon 2.
Yeah.
If they do get their together, I'll consider buying Splatoon. I still on the fence about ARMS. I gotta play it first. I might get on this beta. I don't know. But I'm not paying for online until I know it's something I can actually play.
Well, thankfully, while they're going to start charging in the fall, the app for the online and everything is launching in beta in the summer.
Okay.
Probably going to coincide with Splatoon 2. And then people will be able to use that and test it out until it actually launches and they start paying for it. Now, because it's in beta, I don't know if it's going to have every feature. And it might not work 100% correctly, but at least the functionality should be there. So I guess we'll see, how it affects games like Mario Kart.
Time will tell.
Yeah.
All right. Well, talked about the Switch. Now, couple of other games have come out in 2017. Obviously, I love Persona 5. That's no secret. I made a review on it. I said everyone should go play it. Persona fans, RPG fans. Fantastic game. I played Doom, 2016 game. I also think that's fantastic. But finally, I have the culmination of about $20 and $25, and that is my Kickstarter. The games I kickstarted, or helped rather, fund on Kickstarter, which is Yooka-Laylee and Strafe. So I'll start with Yooka-Laylee. Yooka-Laylee is a game where I cannot figure out how I feel about it yet. I am not even halfway through it, and there are a lot of pet peeves, and I don't even know if I want to finish it. And that's not a good sign. A lot of the... it's so strange. I know I'm playing something made by the Banjo-Kazooie team. It looks like it. It feels like it. But there's a point in time where I sat back, and asked myself, why am I not having fun right now? And there's just... I don't know why exactly this game is not appealing to me. Obviously, the reviews are mixed. I can't decide what exactly is wrong with it. I think a lot of the mini games are seriously... I don't know, they're just annoying, or they're just tedious, or they're just... they're things you have to do in order to progress, basically, and they're so friggin' annoying at times. A lot of the characters, although it has that wit that I expect from Banjo-Kazooie games, I know it's strange, but I feel like you could, replace them with cardboard cutouts of the same characters. Not from Banjo-Kazooie, but I'm saying you could replace these characters with cardboard cutouts of these characters, and nothing would change, because there's this one point in the first level that there's like a skeleton in a pot, right? And it's like, oh man, save me from these pygmies that are gonna eat me or something. And you fight all these pygmies, and then it's like, oh yeah, thanks for saving me. Here's the the pagey or whatever, the things that you're supposed to collect. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then the skeleton doesn't leave the pot. In fact, you can't free the skeleton or anything. It's just like, thanks for saving me, and then it just stays in the pot. Why? What? What am I doing here? Am I not helping people? Am I not, making a difference in this world? What?
Nope.
Why am I guess I just get the fucking page and leave. Cool. It's just, little shit like that. And then there's, I feel like there's, such, self-aware humor in place of, actual, problem solving. A character will say, oh, man, that was fucking annoying. And I'm like, yeah, that was fucking annoying. That wasn't, an actually fun thing to do. That was actually fucking annoying, and you commenting on it being fucking annoying doesn't make it less fucking annoying.
Yeah.
In fact, it's your programmers saying, oh, hey, we kind of fucked up, but it's funny, I guess. It's a joke, guys. It's all a joke. That fucking annoying thing you just did, hilarious. Because we said it was hilarious. Another thing that pisses me off is that you can basically, I don't know, if you do what I do, you can unlock all the worlds and unlock all the double, and expand them. And you can get all the moves as quickly as possible. That's what I did. I got all the moves as quickly as possible. And I guess I should have paced myself, because part of what I loved about Banjo-Kazooie is, unlocking those new worlds and oh man, now I'm going to get new moves in those worlds. But in this, it's okay, I'm halfway through the game, and I now have every move in the game. And now I'm well, part of my motivation to play is to see, all the cool shit I'm going to learn. And now I'm just, so burnt out from it. Because I've got everything, and it's great. Now now I guess I need to do more of those annoying ass like games. And then there's like oh my god, the last move you learn pisses me off so much. It's such a so in Banjo-Kazooie, like you could fly. You had like these sections where you could fly, like there were flying panels, and you could fly in like not the entire level, but like parts of it. And you know, when you fly, like flying for the first time on the N64, that was like a fantastic experience. It was like you can see like how big the world is, and you could like fly here and fly there. And the point is that like where you could fly was where the programmers like wanted you to fly. They wanted you to like see this, and they like thought out. It's like, okay, they can fly in this part, and here's what they can do in this part, and flying has a purpose. But in this, with this move, the last move you learn, you can just fly anywhere. And that is a serious nail in the coffin for a 3D platformer.
Yeah.
Why would I want to jump over all this when I can just fly everywhere? You know, like
That's a
what?
good point.
Really though, and then
Breaks the game.
it does, and then it's like you want to get even less immersive. The second you want to, I'm like, because like the first thing I did in Banjo-Kazooie is like I flew as high. I remember as a kid, I just wanted to fly as high as I could possibly go, and like you got pretty high. I start flying in ukulele, and I just hit that invisible wall at the top of the screen, and it keeps bringing me down. And I'm like, this is ruining the out of the immersion you want me to experience. This was a bad call on your guys' part.
Yeah.
And that is lame as So, I mean, those are just little... Technically, they're not little pet peeves. But they're like serious complaints that are taking me out of the experience and make me not want to finish that game. But I feel I have to, and I feel that... I don't know, just for the... I help fund this stupid thing. My real name is in the credits of this game. I feel like I need to finish this game and see it to completion. And I'll probably review it at some point, but it's been a challenge. And of course, then there's Strafe. Now, Strafe is a game I've had a hard time loving. I think it's got all the elements of a fantastic game. Obviously, I've loved Doom, reviewed Doom, and there are those Doom moments where, you know, you're running around and there's hordes of enemies, and you gotta think on the spot, am I gonna turn left? Am I gonna turn right? Am I gonna jump over these guys? How am I gonna take out that guy over there? You know, it's fun when it's those moments. But in between those moments, or during those moments, there's some serious slowdown. You saw it. It either takes you out, or it just makes it harder. Like, there's the Unity engine for you, as you mentioned.
That's why you don't use the Unity engine, because it's terrible.
It is. I'm seeing that the hard way.
But did they... I remember they said that they were preparing patches for that launch weekend where they were going to fix the performance.
They were going to fix the performance.
Did they actually release any patches?
You know, I don't know. My PS4 sort of auto-downloaded probably because I have Plus.
Oh, okay.
But I did play the PS4 version again, and I still got those frame rate issues.
So it's the same. Okay.
So it's essentially the same. In between, of course, some absolutely ridiculous glitches, of which I have made a video on.
Where it launched you into space.
Into space.
Why?
That was definitely a glitch. I don't consider that an Easter egg. That was definitely a f***ing glitch.
Yeah.
100%.
There's no reason for that. You just walked into the teleporter. It's just like, whoosh, out into space.
It would be an Easter egg if I could die. If they just killed you automatically.
You had to end your run.
I literally had to end the run. So that was not intentional. They f***ed up.
Yeah.
And that's just what happened.
Dude, you don't like soaring through space with nothing to do and no way to
I'm not
kill
even
yourself?
just soaring through space. I'm just falling. I fall and I see the planet. So I'm like, great, Strafe took fantastic. You
That's
know,
some great gravity in space too. You just fall.
that's how it actually works.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, totally. But Jesus, I've said a million times on those streams, if they fix all their issues, I could definitely see myself falling in love with ukulele. Sorry, I was thinking about ukulele.
Strafe.
I was talking about strafe, but it's not the same with ukulele. I just hate a lot of the level design, or rather I just hate a lot of the gameplay. I hate how the characters, again, might as well be cardboard cutouts.
I think it's pretty easy to see where ukulele went wrong too.
Are you sure?
Yeah. See, banjo actually has some of the same, not 100%, but it has some of the same problems. The difference is, back then when we played those games, that was still the best of what games could be, right?
Mm-hmm.
The problem that ukulele faced is they tried to emulate a 3D platformer from the 90s, and they forgot that in some ways, like camera and controls and stuff like that, games have gotten better.
Mm-hmm.
That was the good thing about Doom. Doom took all the crazy from the 90s shooters, and it married it with the great stuff from today's shooters.
Absolutely.
Ukulele is stuck in the past, and the game is broken because it plays like one of those games without the actual great nostalgia, because it's not an old game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just, bad design is bad design.
Yeah.
Like, if you intentionally do something that's not great, like, that doesn't make me say, oh, well, the games in the 90s were just like this. No, it makes me think you're an idiot.
No, and yeah, no, absolutely. And like, even looking at the bosses of ukulele, like, there is just some like comparing them to the bosses of Banjo-Kazooie. Sure, it was constantly hitting the weak points, but it was actually fun. In ukulele, there's just this one like ice boss, where he's just on this fucking wall, and he's just constantly just moving on this wall. I'll show you it. Actually, I'm just gonna pause this. So, yeah, I just fucking showed Porkchopper one of ukulele's bosses, and it's the ice one. Who knows? Maybe I'll post some gameplay of it during this segment so you can watch it. But it is absolutely tedious.
It looks boring.
It is, and
honestly,
the first boss honestly was not better. I would say it's not much better, but it wasn't better at all. It was just you going up a hill.
It's not really a boss fight because there's no threat. It just slides back and forth across a wall. You hit it with a flamethrower, and you just move out of the way.
And then you can go all the way, yeah.
Like, that's not challenging.
No, it wasn't. It just took a long-ass time, and it really pissed me off.
Yeah. That's just bad design.
That they just threw that there, and like, yep, that's the boss. So, anyway, that's ukulele, that's strafe. I still like strafe. I like things like strafe.
Yeah, from what I've seen and played of strafe, if they can fix like the performance issues and shit, it would actually be a solid game.
Yeah,
it is good.
And again, in my video, sort of taking the piss on those glitches, the devs do seem to be, they don't want to hurt us. Yeah. They seem to be on our side. They want to fix their problems. So, hopefully they do that.
Yeah, unlike a lot of other Kickstarters where they release a game, they kind of just take the money and run. It seems like they actually want to fix their mistakes, and that's nice to see.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that. I actually tweeted my number 9 the other day, and I'm like, so
that game actually exists, and no one even remembers it.
When's the animated series coming out, guys? It still bothers me that they showed a trailer for an animated series well before the game came out. I don't know, man.
You know what bothered me? When the game came out and it had so many problems, and I forget, I don't know if it was the developer or somebody basically posted a tweet and they were like, oh well, and it's like, are you kidding me?
That's like the No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky was a mistake. All right. So, let's talk about a purchase I recently made.
Okay.
I purchased a Pokemon Go Plus for $45 dues. $50 dues with tax.
Could have bought a game.
It wasn't my money. It was an EB Games gift card.
Could have bought a game at EB Games.
Was not my money. Just want to say that. I have a bit of buyer's remorse.
No.
Yeah. No. Okay. So I go on regular runs, and it's like, okay, when I'm running, I can't catch Pokemon, so I'm like, okay, I'll just get this, and I'll catch all the Pokemon as I'm running.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So here's how it works. Whenever a Pokemon or a Pokestop is there, it vibrates or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
When you hit it on a Pokemon, I swear to God, there's like a 50% chance it'll actually catch it.
Okay.
And if it doesn't, it fucking takes a ball anyway.
Of course.
So it's like, there's a 50% chance it'll actually get you what you want. And if you're running like me, you'll run out of balls in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Because you're catching everything.
Yeah.
Including a lot of... And, yeah, then you just get a bunch of nice notifications saying you're out of balls. Just constantly, instead of, just not fucking vibrating. I just keep using the thing just to not get it. That's really nice of you guys.
Yep.
They really shilled me. I don't really know what to say. Other than I guess I'm a idiot. I know, man. I've been spending more time outside. I feel like I still need to believe in Pokemon Go, or at least the concept of like a game like Pokemon Go, where you can like just talk and catch Pokemon with like strangers.
Not literally with them, but just standing next to them.
But like, yeah, technically standing.
There's no actual real multiplayer or co-op or anything.
I know.
In this. Okay.
But that actually is a good segue because I was planning on making a video about top 10 reasons on how to save Pokemon Go. So, I've come up with quite a few ideas after my Pokemon Go Plus failings.
They do that.
They hatch eggs better. I mean, they count for steps for eggs better, I guess. Mm-hmm. It picks up buddy movement better. Spent $50 on nothing, damn it! God damn it, Andrew, why did I do that? God damn it, Porkchopper, why did I do that? That was a f***ing waste!
Yeah. I could have told you that before you bought
Shut up!
I'm pretty sure I did.
Anyway, E3, it's coming up.
Yep. It's going to be a big show.
Oof, I'm really hoping. I'm really hoping for some...
There will definitely be a lot of good stuff.
What's your predictions, Porkchopper?
Wolfenstein New Colossus gets announced by Bethesda. Coming probably next May.
Oh, hell yes.
Late May 2018, guaranteed.
I'm feeling it.
And I'm going to say right now, The Evil Within 2 gets announced as well. And maybe a new IP from Bethesda themselves. Because they've got 2 new IP in development that are going to release before Elder Scrolls 6. And Elder Scrolls 6 can't be that far off. So one of those games has to be launching soon.
I got 3 games that I really, really want. I don't know if they're going to happen, but I really want them. Pokemon Stars. We need that Pokemon Switch port, baby. I need that in my life.
I think it's doubtful at this point. But
Yeah?
I mean, May is the month where they announce them, usually. But
Right.
you never know.
A girl can dream.
Yeah, it could come. Although I think at this point, if it does come, it might not be Pokemon Stars. It might just be something new.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah.
Either way, I'd be happy with Pokemon on the Switch. That would be
Pokemon,
nice.
yeah, no, either way, it's a buy.
Yeah.
It's always going to be a buy.
Yeah.
It's Pokemon.
Unless it's, that Pokemon detective bullshit again.
Oh, yeah, that never came here. It's funny. A lot of people were petitioning for Danny DeVito to voice the voice of Pikachu, and he had to respond saying, "I don't even know what the hell a Pokemon is."
That's awesome.
But that would have been funny. But yeah, I want Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
I want a Monster Hunter port.
That's likely.
I don't know if it's going to be the latest one. I don't know if it's going to be new Monster Hunter. I also technically still there was Generations that came out, and they basically made a better version of Generations.
Mm-hmm.
I want that out here too, because I did.
I think Generations would be likely.
I did put a ton of time into Generations, so I really want the better version of that. That'd be fantastic. And third, I guess the dream pick, new Infamous game. What the hell is Sucker Punch doing?
Hi there, post-production Kaznarious battling a cold here. You idiots, Sucker Punch is working on Spider-Man, so now we can all listen to these two talk about what the hell Sucker Punch is doing. Yeah, have fun.
I get the feeling that it's not Infamous.
Me neither. I'm like, because we haven't heard anything about
Usually
it for
when,
years.
When they take this long, it's usually when they're switching to a new IP, right? Because they did do 3 games and 2 standalone expansions. I feel like after Second Son, they might want to do something new.
Yeah.
I just don't know what they would do. Because Sucker Punch has made a lot of different games in the past, right?
That's true.
Sucker Punch, they're the ones who did. What other? Yeah, the Sly Cooper series. That's what they did.
Okay.
So they just have Sly Cooper and Infamous.
Just those two, huh?
And those
What
are
the hell are
very,
they
very
working
different.
on?
I doubt it's new Sly Cooper, and I doubt it's got to be a new IP. That would make sense.
Well, all right. So they did Infamous and basically Sly Cooper.
Yeah.
I don't know. If not Infamous, I just need a new Sucker Punch game.
Yeah, their games have a lot of style to them, so it'd be nice to see something.
Yeah.
I just don't know where they go because they had the sort of almost action adventure puzzle-ish stealth with Sly Cooper. They had the sort of superhuman, not really hero kind of action with Infamous.
Yeah.
Those are very, very different. So I feel like it's hard to gauge what they're gonna do next.
Yeah.
It could literally be anything.
Yeah, with their track record, it's either anything or new Infamous. I'd say.
Definitely not new Sly Cooper. I feel like Sly Cooper doesn't make a lot of sense in today's market.
It's well, they made a 4th one, right?
Not them. I think Sumo Digital or somebody made the 4th one. I think.
Okay.
I don't think they did. I think they made the Sly Collection or some shit like that.
Right. Well.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Guess we'll just have to wait till E3 to see how much they disappoint us.
Yeah. What are you got any other big predictions?
I think the Xbox One's gonna suck ass. I'd be surprised if by 5 years they don't just release a friggin' gaming PC instead of an actual console.
It seems like that's where they're headed, actually.
Yeah.
So yeah. I think we're gonna see Metroid.
I don't know.
Cause
I want to believe, man.
what?
But you know what believing gets you? Believing gets you Federation Force.
Well, dude, because what I'm saying is that studio has been super quiet for a really long time, and there have been multiple times in the past year or so where they just keep posting tweets with pictures of meat. Sometimes it's steak, sometimes it's prime rib. Okay, they're doing all these different things that make me think Metroid Prime, And Nintendo...
Why does Metroid Prime make you think of meat?
Prime rib.
Oh.
And, like, if you think about it, going into this holiday season, charging for online, Nintendo needs a shooter. And if they're not getting Call of Duty, Splatoon's not going to bring in the big, hardcore shooter crowd.
It's true.
So
it's true.
They're going to need Metroid. That's why I feel like it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, no. I think the only actual online Metroid other than Federation Force was Prime Hunters.
Yeah.
And Prime Hunters was excellent. It was absolutely fantastic from the online I played.
Yeah, there's definitely potential with that series to do some really great online stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, campaign is pretty much...
It's gonna kick ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So...
The Prime series always kicks ass, but... Yeah. Well, we're gonna see some Mario. It's gonna be cool.
Oh, of course, yeah. We're gonna see Mario Odyssey. We'll probably see Skyrim for the Switch, and we'll find out if it's actually the remastered edition or not. And if it's not, why the charging $80 for it?
Because what else are you gonna play other than Breath of the Wild?
Well, yeah.
Anyway, 2017 still gonna kick ass. I mean, I'm like 80% sure we found our game of the year, but I don't know. Here's hoping 2017 can still kill it.
Yeah.
Anyway, with that, this has been Kaznarious
And the Porkchopper.
signing off.